ଶିକ୍ଷା ରୂପରେଖ ଆମ ହାତରେ ନିର୍ମିତ ହେବ ସୀମାହୀନ ଆମ ସାଧନାର ଗତି ପଥରେ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ବାଧା ବିଘ୍ନ ଏଡ଼ାଇ ପରିଚୟ ଆମେ ତୋଳିବୁ ଏବେ ଜ୍ୟୋତି ଆମ ଆଶାର ଆଲୋକ ଆମେ ଜଗତକୁ ଜିତିବୁ ଆମେ ଜଗତକୁ ଜିତିବୁ।
And the Industry Academia Interaction Cell, CUPGS. This event aims to bridge the gap between innovative ideas and their successful realization into tangible products, a journey that is crucial in today's rapidly evolving technological landscape. Sir, actually we have started, this is a very new institute, a young institute. We have started in the year 2022. BPUT is a quite old university, but this campus college, which is known as the Center for UG and PG Studies, we have started in the year 2022. We have started taking the undergraduate students, and the students are now in, the first batch of students are now in third year. So I think with your guidance, the students will venture into the world of converting their product idea to products. So it will be very helpful for them. There are many promising students with us, and they are really eagerly waiting for your address. And we are also honored to have our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who has always actually fosters the innovation atmosphere in this university. He has always appreciated, he has always guided us for conducting such kind of workshops. And believe me, this is going to be a continuous process in this university in the time to come. So I would now like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amiya Kumar Rath, to address this occasion. Sir.
So good afternoon all of you. Professor Arabindra Uttray from IIT Kharagpur, Professor Siva Misra, Director in charge Center of UG and PG Studies, faculty members and dear students. Idea to product development, it's interesting because in coming days or coming years you will find all ideas to be converted into product. That's very important. Even India is looking for that. We are very good in service industries, but we need to develop products. If you compete with other countries, rightly Professor Misra explained that the campus college started very late, but when it started, our interest is to develop students. The holistic development of student is important. For the guest, let me tell you that we have 135 colleges in engineering, professional and architectures, computer applications, out of which there are 10 government colleges, 125 private colleges, The challenge of BPUT was conducting examinations, result publications, and certificate distribution to students. Let me tell you, in these 2 years, students are getting results within a week. Students are getting certificates on the day of convocation. Apart from that, we conduct different programs for the students. We believe in participation of students in different activities, not only the campus college, but also all the affiliated colleges of BPUT. We have around more than 1,30,000 students in the entire state. From last year onwards, we started with BPUT Tech Carnival with different events, competition among students, BPUT Research Conclave for the research scholars, BPUT project exhibitions for final year projects of the students, and like to the campus college, we have made it compulsory that at least 2 students will do one project. The students of CUPGS has demonstrated their projects 2 times during the research conclave, and before that also they have showcased their projects. Let it be a small projects, but they should know how to develop a project and the approach for project developing projects. That's a preliminary steps for a product development. You should know, you just come out of the book and try to understand, try to design something else, correlate with your subjects, try to develop a project. That is the interest of BPUT. Apart from that, we have conducted a hackathon for all the affiliated colleges BPUT. We had industry academia conclave, for the inviting more than 50 industries to the campus. We are trying to make it more lively. Now we are trying to conduct different center of excellence so that students here and the students of other colleges under BPUT, they will come here, stay, get the facilities, try to get knowledge. That is more important. Once you come out of this, you will feel that the development, holistically development of students, and we initiated the steps. We have recruited our director, Monrojan Mahapatra, for startup, innovation and incubation centers. We are going in one step ahead for the students. I am sure with your presentation, students will get benefit out of it, and whatever the vague idea come to the students, anything you want to discuss, okay? No question is very small. Sometimes students feel that why this I will ask these silly questions. Others will laugh at me if I ask these silly questions. Most of you will be having in your mind, okay? But every question is very important because the thought process for asking questions. You are thinking 1,000 times, why should I ask these questions? Whether this question is relevant to this topic, whether this question is irrelevant. Believe me, if you start asking questions to the professors, you will get the knowledge of asking questions to yourself. From there the idea comes. Okay? When you asking questions in the class, that means you will have a habit of asking questions to yourself. Once you start ask questions to yourself, from that day onwards the innovation starts. So I am sure that interact with Professor Rautrai, interact with him, try to ask questions, interact and try to think beyond the subjects. Whatever you understand is fine. Whatever you don't understand, you think beyond. I'm sure with this deliberations it will be helpful to the students of Biju Patnaik University of Technology. Thank you very much. Thank you.
now like request volunteers to come up with the, and I would request Professor Amir Kumar Rath to felicitate our guest, Professor Rautra.
জিও নেটওয়ার্ক হলো না এয়ারটেল হলো। So should I start? Okay, good afternoon everybody. My name is Aravind Rautra. I am working at IIT Kharagpur. I am teaching. I am doing research there. Mostly research, teaching it little bit. Around 4 hours. And so I am very glad that I am here to share what we are trying to do for this country and where this country should be. ठीक है, I can talk from here also. अच्छा ठीक है, दोनों में बात कर सकते। Okay, so remember the economy of the country depends upon few things. Suppose you are asked to design, listen, this is a workshop, this is not a lecture exactly, so there will be lot of interactions. So I hope that you guys will make some groups and think about some ideas while I speak for 1 hour. Next 1 hour, we'll take your ideas and discuss about it. So the economy of the country grows how? By redistribution of the public resources. There are some people who are capable, somehow they are becoming rich, not somehow, by hard work, and there are some people who do not have opportunities. So it is so after a lot of industrial evolutions, there is an industrial evolution happening right now. That is known as Industry 4.0. How many of you know Industry 4.0? Please raise your hands. Don't use cell phones now, okay? Use notes if you can. Don't use cell phones. Cell phones are very dangerous. I have 2 cell phones, but nobody calls me because they know I will not pick up. So I have 2 cell phones, 3 numbers, but nobody calls me. You can see the whole, nobody will call me. It's okay, cell phone is a device which you can use, but it should not use you. That's the whole thing. So you tell me, Industry 4.0, how many of you have heard about it? Industry 4.0. Then there is going to be Industry 5.0. What is Industry 4.0? Connecting everywhere. Everything will be connected. Everything. Your shoes, your buttons, everything. Your watch, everything will be connected. And what is Industry 5.0? AI. Okay. Industry 5.0 will be, everything will be AI driven. That's not coming, but AI has not gone deeply into industry because still people are not, AI has gone to research, mainly social media, image processing, medical diagnostics, not. So let me first, no, no, whole thing has to be projected. No, no, it will get projected. It will automatically project. Yes, ma'am. So, so everything gets connected, that is Industry 4.0, then AI driven, that will become Industry 5.0, which will happen very soon. And it will go on very rapidly. Okay. So with this revolution, we have to keep pace with it. Like Industrial Revolution 1, Europe, USA, they got benefit of in 1, 2 and 3. Maybe 4, China. But India is coming up. India is not yet that mature to have its own products. If you think from the morning to the evening, right from the morning, when you get up, and then evening when you go to the bed, you and your mother or your family members, they face lots of problems. In one of the lectures, I asked a small kid, what is the problem you think of from morning to evening? The first problem, he said that I cannot get up. I cannot get up. That is the first problem. So even if I give an alarm, I still cannot get up because I have to stop it. So what is the solution? Is there a solution? Then I go to the bathroom, it is dirty, it is wet. I don't like wet bathrooms. So like this, there are lots of problems. Then I go to for breakfast, I don't know whether breakfast is good or not. What are the contaminants of the breakfast? What are the wrong things, poisons in the breakfast? Whether I am getting served with potatoes which is having lots of pesticides. Whether I am being served with cabbages with having lots of fertilizers, hormones. So that is also a problem. You don't know. You go to the restaurant, you blindly eat. You don't suffer, but when you grow up like me, you have suffering. The girls, they have lots of suffering, the mothers. They are having a very complicated hormonal system. And you know, all the vegetable, fish, meat, everything is hormone. Have you gone to a broiler farm? The food is hormone. There is no food but hormones. So if you have so much hormones, if you feed the hormone to a person, you lose hair first of all, then you become fat, and the girls have enormous number of problems because they have a very complicated hormone cycle. Are you not thinking to getting rid of all these problems, or you want to still live in the problem? So there is problem and there are solutions. So then you guys can ask, okay, then what kind of research I will do? So research is a vicious game. Let me tell you, all the professors and students who are going to do research. Research is a vicious game. Publishing papers is not a good research nowadays. It was earlier. Earlier in my time, I escaped. I published papers and I was good. But nowadays, publishing papers is a mafia. You have to pay money and get it published. And it is very difficult. Even though you do excellent work, the paper is likely to be rejected. So what are you going to do? So that means you have to do your own stuff. How do you do your own stuff? By building something out of it and making a business model out of it. So look at some of the products which I am demonstrating here. Let me show you a very simple product. The name is self-fluttering flag. We have hundreds of products which are built in the lab. Not me, my students have built. Students like you who have gone there, students like you who have gone for PhD, they have built it. I have only made a conduit. I have made the help. So you can see, this is, you can see what it is. This is a simple product. You can see what do you see in this product?
why have I designed such a product? In Harvard Tiranga, when you get Tiranga, does it flutter? Does the Tiranga flutter? Why? There is no wind. In a city, in the gate, if you put the Tiranga, it will never flutter. I think both the mics are activated, so one of them I will switch off.
Okay, so in the cities, I had been to Wagah border. Have you gone to Wagah border? In the Wagah border, I saw both the flags, Pakistan and India, it is not fluttering. It is so high. So it is a good idea, the flag is not fluttering. So we made a flag which will flutter by itself. By controlling from mobile, you can add controls, etc. You can flutter it, you can put it down when it is evening. It's a very simple idea. Do you think it is a very complicated rocket science? It is not. So I'll show you few models. So that's how you start thinking. So you can see there is a small flag, you can see this. We have made different models. You can see we are doing the control, the flag will start fluttering. So is it a great idea to do it? But do you think it is needed or not? Do you know what is the market size of such flag? The smaller flag is 600 rupees, total cost. And the bigger one is 1,200 rupees. The one here you are fluttering. So will you not buy a flag which is flutter by itself by paying 1,000 rupees? You can. And it will play different music, it can get shut off. Can you not do that? So look at this idea. This is a very simple idea, but it flutters. Okay, let me show you something else. I'll get back to the topic. I have two main product development which are really serious kind, which needs lots of research, but most of the product needs not much research. Within a year or so, you can build and bring the product out. Water meter. Let me tell you. Are you using water meter? Most of you are not using water, so water meter is not good for you, but many people, they need water meter, right? So why? Because water is becoming scarce and scarce. You know, the Earth's magnetic field and Earth's axis of rotation, Earth's rotational speed is affected by water, because you have drawn so much groundwater, especially in India, that the groundwater recharge takes years, not just few years, years together. So they have drawn so much groundwater, the gravitational and magnetic field is getting distorted. If it is distorted, there will be a lot of natural calamities which will come. You read about it. In YouTube, you can read about it. That means just like electricity, you have to also pay for the water. Not only pay for the water, just like electricity also you have a power quality. If the power is getting disrupted, the power supplier should be penalized. Similarly, the water quality has to be also checked. So can you build a water meter? It is not a rocket science. Water meter building is not a big deal. Can you build a small water meter which will be sitting in your home? It will tell you how much you are consuming. It will tell you what is the head in your tank, what is the quality of the water, if there is a leakage or not. Can you not find out these things? What is the pH value online? It is possible. It is not a big deal. If you manufacture it properly, the price will not be so high. So I will also show you that video, the water meter video. You can see. This is in my home right now. This is installed in my home. See, this is the water meter. Of course, this is a prototype, so we have a lot of wires. When the prototype is not there, so wire will go. You can see there is a voice over. I am not making the voice over. So it is measuring the TDS. TDS is the total dissolving. It is measuring the temperature. It is measuring the pH value. And there is something called LoRa and ESP32. LoRa is for long range communication. So it communicates with your cloud directly. It will go to the cloud. In the cloud, it will check your water level. If there is a leakage or not, it will find out the water quality. This is cloud. This is a very simple thing to build, and it will not take much time. It will take, at least if you have a group of 2-3 people, you can build in 6 months. And you can build and market it. Just like electric meter, there are many players. Water meter is needed like anything. Thousands of water meter. And it will be within 2 to 3 years of time. Everybody will have to put a water meter. So at that time, we don't have a lot of people. So if you manufacture one, you will get able to sell your water meter. So these are the simple 2 ideas. This water meter you can also do at your place. So these are simple ideas which I tell you. Then I will go to, every 20 minutes I will take a break. You tell me when it is 20 minutes. Okay, now another 4-5 minutes you have to ask questions. Do you have a microphone to the students? Yeah, please give them. You participate. The learning happens in 3 steps. In engineering especially, unless you interact, you cannot learn. You have to write. Whatever you are listening, always carry a notebook. Write down. Always write down. Don't use cell phone. After write down, think about it, ask questions. That's how the learning will take place. Otherwise, no learning. So what happens in IIT and your institute also will have same thing. We have number of students. Like in one class, there will be 200 students, 250 students sometimes. In your university also, because BPT is a very good university, there will be lot, they will increase the seat. The moment their infrastructure is more, they will take thousands of engineering students. So how to teach them? In Bhubaneswar, I have heard that in one batch, in any one branch, there are 2,000 students. I have heard in some colleges, 10,000 students intake. So in that case, one class will be 500 students. In IIT, there is a problem of mental health. It is everywhere, but in IIT, it is very much there. People get depressed like anything. So what happens, we have to detect mental health cases. How? If there is a large class, we don't know who is coming, who is not coming. Because if there are 300 students in a class or 200 students, if I take attendance in 1 hour class, it will take 20 minutes. And also there will be proxy. You cannot catch it. So that means to keep track of our attendance, we have to go for automated attendance system. Tell me one automated attendance system. You can say like finger. But that is very difficult. Passing the fingerprint, because finger takes a lot of time. If you give a finger here, it will not be instant. It will take a lot of time. Each finger has to be recognized. So a lot of time. Then you can say, okay, the card, RFID, write down. जिसको पता नहीं उसको लिखो RFID. RFID means your I card will have RFID. You will show it and you get the attendance. That means I can get all of the IDs and get the attendance if somebody is not coming. Doesn't matter. So you have to do by face registration. That means by face recognition. So how to do by face recognition? That means I have to register all your faces. Is it not? Then I will try to take a picture and match it. That is also not possible. In a class of 300, if you start teaching and ask them to register your face, they will never do. Which will take a lot of time, face registration. So you have to do without face registration. So that means I will say, okay, please attendance ready. I will take the video in that app. I will come back. So it will do by unsupervised clustering. आप लिखो उसको. Please write down unsupervised clustering. You guys has to be serious. Otherwise you cannot learn. So you have to make a difference ना. थोड़ा हर समय एक खाता लेके घूम. मेरे पास खाता है. खाता कलम हमेशा रखना चाहिए. ठीक है. So keep a सबले खाता कलम पाखे थिवो. So you have to do by unsupervised learning. Listen to me carefully what I am going to say, because after that I will take a break. So what I do is, I shall say, guys, attendance is your responsibility. If attendance attends, that means deregistration. This they know. So it is their job to look at your cell phone. So you will, I will just go around like this. I will say attendance please. So I will go like this, come back. So after coming back, I have the video of all the faces, frontal faces. So from that, I will do image processing to only choose the frontal faces. Then detect the frontal faces. Then I will cluster them, because what is your name? Please stand up. Yes. Yourself, yeah. Yourself. Priyanshu. Suppose Priyanshu's face is coming in 20 frames. Sit down. Yeah. So your face is coming in 20 frames. So 20 faces has to be clustered in one. So I will cluster all your faces in the first class. That means your face is clustered with your face only. I will choose the best face. So the faces are thumbnails in the Excel sheet. So it will go to the professor. Professor has teaching assistants, just like your professors. So they will write the names of the students. After that, so that cluster, every class I will go, I will add them into the clusters. Okay, so attendance means the face is there, attendance is not there means face is not there. It is so easy. So I will show you that video right now. So this is a product, we call it Smart Attendance Monitoring System. You can see here. These were This is a smart automated attendance monitoring system without supervised learning. That means you don't have to register your face. Attendance is very important, so I will not get into the details. So there is advantage. I told you that you can automatically take attendance. So there is a pipeline. You have to do the face detection, face quality assessment, then unsupervised clustering. So you can see how it is done. This is done in one of the universities, not in IIT. We are selling the product to this university, SRM University. So in the SRM University, can you see? It is always automatically coming. The guy is taking the cell phone, it is getting clustered there itself, and it is coming in the Excel sheet presenter absent. So it is not also rocket science. Face recognition, is it a rocket science nowadays? Everybody does face recognition. Google is doing, Digijatra is doing. So is it a big thing to do it? It can be done. But this is very useful or not? So that means the idea is to take the attendance without disturbing the class and within minimum time and with maximum authenticity. So it is not a big deal. If you guys stay together, you can make it happen. It's not a big deal. If you take little guidance, what is this face detection, face recognition, this is very much done. Okay? Okay, I will stop here for some time. You ask questions, then I will go into. So people are objecting to this because many people do not want to come to the class. So there is a lot of riot against this particular product in IIT. Since we have developed, people are complaining it will affect the privacy. I said, what privacy? You are always being monitored by CCTV cameras everywhere. There is no privacy. So it will give you clear-cut attendance. The professor will know who is present, who is not present. You got my point? Okay, so now you ask questions. I have already crossed 20 minutes. So every 20 minutes we'll have a break. Then I shall speak about ideas. Please ask questions. Ask questions.
It was very nice of seeing the models. Many times when we make some models, there is a great hindrance of implementing that, because once we made a machine learning model, any image processing, anything with AI, before that we have a test bed where we test it over the cases, and being computer sciences, many times when the implementation scale will be very large, we have to implement in a virtual test bed which will give us the test cases. So how can we bridge that part to implement it in the real world?
This is a very good question. How did you do it? So that I will discuss in the next two presentations. How the development takes place. What are the different steps of development? I will give you two case studies. One case study is for a human being. Another case study is for a motor. Both, a machine and man, both will be covered. How to build a product from scratch. So that's I'm going to present. The same thing has happened here. The smart attendance monitoring system is happening for last 5 years. We started, if you look at our publications, it goes back to 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So we started initially, every class we tested it. Every class. Finally, we are in a position now to launch it. So idea to product, if you have proper resources, it is quick. But if you don't have proper resources, funding is not there, it will take time. So in our case, there is no funding. So we have to do it through interns, like interns go to IIT Kharagpur, we do it, then we have to wait, then another set of intern comes. So this takes a lot of time. So recently we have got some funding from here and there, so we are able to be successful. And the two ideas which will say present now, they were funded. One is funded by Gas Authority of India Limited, another is funded by a private party. So these two I will present. How we have a team of people, how they do it, I will tell you. Other questions, please. Go ahead. Very good question. Please ask your questions. See, you have to have, since you are here, you can just not participate. If you are not participating, you can leave, no problem. But if you are really into product development, be here. Because I have 5 startups and I am the mega failure. I have failed many times. So nobody is a better experience than me. I have been successful, but more failures, 99% failures. But a product is not a failure, but the marketing, selling it is a failure. So therefore, but still I am looking for success. I will be successful because products are working.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question about that you that unsupervised learning model is proposed for that problem.
Yes.
So what are the set of rules to decide that clustering? When we take a single student, so it has its unique ID. So it takes in the next class when he goes, since another teacher will come, so he will take another, the same process will goes on. Now sir,
Yeah.
what is the set of rules has been used to make this clustering possible?
Yes. So first of all, this is unsupervised clustering. That means similar faces will be pushed together. It will commit errors initially. In the first class, all the students will not be there for example. So whoever is there, I have taken video a little longer. In the first class, I will take maybe a 5 minutes video. In the second class, maybe 3 or 4 minutes video. So in the first, second and third class, I will be correcting them. I will correcting. That means the unsupervised learning will become semi-supervised. That means certain hyperparameters will be changed till it has 99% accuracy. Our job is to not to punish the student. Our job is to see that the class is attended. So it is not 100% accurate, but it is 99% accurate. So what happens after the clustering is done, the thumbnail with roll number is sent to all the students. If a student is present but his face is missed out, then it will report. Once it reports, we will make him attend, make him present. At the same time, update the clustering hyperparameters. This is the rule. So it will go up to 99%. 100% accuracy is not there. But we have something, benefit of doubt goes to the student. We have done the thresholding in such a way, if the student is not sure to be present, he is present. So student is not punished. But the teacher has to see that maximum people are coming to the class. And particularly mental health cases, how it arises, I am telling you. Recently there is a suicide by an electrical engineering student, my student, he's my student. CGPA was 9.4, that means quite good student. CGPA fell down to 8.2, then committed suicide. So from the ERP data we can figure out which student is losing interest or motivation. ERP data, not attending the classes. So immediately that students, every data is with us. So in this we can make the software in such a way we look for that person, whether those few persons who are not actually motivated are there in the class or not. So that is done by search procedure. So everything is included there. Any other questions? 2 questions only. Okay, so let me go to the product development. So there are 2 products I will tell about. One is called a product for an industry. In industry, how many of you are from electrical science? Can you raise your hand? Electrical science means electronics, electrical engineering, computer science, all together. Okay, everybody is there. Okay, so you guys know that industry works on motors, lot of motors. Every industry has a motion control system. Like fans here, like in an industry, every point there is a motion control. And motion control is done by electrical motors. And electrical motors need maintenance. Therefore, so what are the different kind of maintenance? One of them is breakdown maintenance. If the system breaks down, like railway locomotive, electric locomotive started, broke down on the way, what will happen? The train has to be standing there, this locomotive has to be dislodged by another locomotive, then new train will come, so delay will be around 5 to 6 hours. Similarly, in an industry, suppose, you know what is FD fan, forced draft fan, FD fan. FD fan takes care of the pollution. If the FD fan breaks down, the industry breaks down because pollutant will be everywhere. So breakdown means if you do breakdown maintenance, you have to shut down the industry. So this is called breakdown maintenance. There is another something called routine maintenance, because if there are some very sensitive loads, people go and do routine maintenance. They go periodically, like 1 month, 2 months once, and measure all the parameters, vibration, motor current, temperature, etc. But breakdown maintenance is dangerous. Routine maintenance is good, but it is not foolproof. In between routine maintenance, suppose there is a fault, what are you going to do? You cannot do. So that's the third one is called proactive or condition-based maintenance, proactive. That means you continuously measure the signals. If there is a failure indicator, then you maintain it. That means you can have a plant shutdown. So this is the problem with GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. What does it do? It supplies gas. It's a very rich company. It's one of the Pancharatnas, GAIL India, making huge profit. All the gas, many things it owns, right? So nowadays it has gas lines in Bhubaneswar also. I don't know whether Raurkela it is there or not. So GAIL is a very powerful. So they have lots of motors, compressors. These motors are induction motors. You have heard about induction motors? Anyway, they are electrical motors. These electrical motors cannot fail. The power of electrical motors starting from few kilowatts to hundreds of megawatts. So they have to be monitored every time. So how do you monitor? If the motor is somewhere at distance, you cannot monitor that. So you have to design certain signature analysis software with sensor so that the maintenance is possible. So this was given to IIT Kharagpur, we delivered the product to them. So this is the story I am going to share with you. So suppose this is a team product. Not visible. Yes. Can you see the slides? It is not visible. Actually, this will come. This projector comes means your whole slide will come here. Don't worry. It will come later, I think. So this is the name of the product. I am going through it quickly. 20 minutes. Again 20 minutes. How much minute I have taken? Already 5 minutes taken. So 20 minutes rule. So this is called cloud-based AI-enabled IoT platform. So that means cloud is there, AI is there, IoT is there. So already Industry 4.0 standard is inbuilt. So diagnosis and prognosis. What is prognosis? Prognosis is predicting failure. Diagnosis means failure has happened. What is the root cause of diagnosis? That is called diagnosis. But if the failure has not happened, it is going to happen, then it is called prognosis. Like in human beings, retinal imaging can be used for disease prognosis. You read about it. So this is called fault diagnosis. If the failure has happened, what is the fault? And fault prognosis. And this is true for all systems, not only electrical system. For any system it is true. Then predictive maintenance. So this is the team. You can see there are 2 professors, 4 scholars, 3 scholars and 1 technical manpower and 1 Mr. Jubraj from GAIL. So this is the team which carried out this whole thing. So if you look at this, so these are reactive maintenance, preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance. So what we are trying to do is preventive and reactive maintenance. So remember, any failure, not only motor, anything, if you want to do diagnosis, anything, it can be human beings, it can be heart, it can be eyes, it can be something else. You should have a prior, write down prior, it is called prior. Prior means previous statistics. Have you heard about Bayesian statistics? Who knows Bayesian statistics? Can you tell me? If there are 2 events A and B which are related, how do you define the statistics? So this is called that suppose A happens if B happens. Okay. So B is a prior to A. So probability of A with B given is higher than probability of A alone. Right? If B happens, A happens. A can also happen independently. So probability of A given B is higher than probability of A alone. You got my point? A probability of B given. So this is Bayesian statistics. So if you know prior, that means in your house, see, listen to me, these are all common sense. Bhai, mobile use mat karo. Please don't use mobile. If you are using mobile, they can leave. Why you are jabardasti bithao mat unko. If they are using, they can go. Not interested, you can leave. No problem. Because after lunch, it is very difficult to focus. Our whole blood is here. I am also not focused. I have taken a hefty lunch. Once I went to a state college to give a lecture. I took my friends. Though I was invited, I took 3 of my friends. So for courtesy sake, I told them to speak fast. So they spoke, the lunch break happened. I was the invited speaker. So after lunch, when I came back, there are 4 people. One who introduced me, one who opened it, and another guy. So I can understand how Professor Shiva Misra has tried to organize this event at 2 o'clock. It's impossible to get people. Recently I organized a lecture at evening 5 o'clock. I have to fall at the feet of people to come. Though it is useful, but there is no, it is not in the syllabus. I'm not going to have a grade with me, so you guys are free to go, don't worry. I know it's very difficult. And earlier, before a few years, I was teaching the basic electrical engineering. You see, the senior professors are given the best, the first year courses. So it was, somebody has put the routine 2 to 4 class, first year. So it was a gallery like this, okay. So I never go back. Once I tried to go back, I saw everybody sleeping because I cannot see. They are sleeping flat on the gallery. So I have taught a trick to the students. You have to sleep by opening your eyes. You open your eyes, you can sleep. This is called Sambhavi Mudra. You search in the net. You can open your eyes, but you'll sleep. You have to practice it. So no worry, but don't disturb. You can sleep, but don't disturb, don't play with the mobiles. So this is called prior. This prior is obtained from the experts. That what is the fault statistics? Suppose आपका घर में एक पंप है. मान लो पंप सबका घर में. कोई आके बोला तो पंप खराब हो गया. अब क्या बोलोगे? क्या खराब हुआ है? Suppose कोई बोलेगा तो तुम्हारा सेल फोन खराब हो गया. तुम क्या? What is your first thing? बैटरी देख लो. That means your prior highest probability of failure is the battery. Similarly, पंप का फेलियर होने से कैपेसिटर देख लो. फैन खराब है तो कैपेसिटर the highest probability. So without having failure बोल देने से we can say with the prior that this is the failure. Then if you get another signal, this is called incremental information. Write down incremental information. Information का measure भी होता है. What is the measure of information? Logarithm of the probability. Information किसका होता है? जो uncertain होता है, जो certain होता है, इनका information होता है. मैं यहाँ पे another 3 घंटा पढ़ाऊंगा, वो surprise है. लेकिन अगर मैं यहाँ पे another 1 hour is not surprise. So more information किसमें है? 3 घंटा पढ़ाना more information. और मैं I am going to walk out after 5 minutes. That is also surprise. So more surprise, more information. Logarithmic of probability minus logarithm of probability. You got my point? Then if you multiply P and integrate, this is called Shannon's information measure, Shannon's entropy. लिखो, खाता नहीं लाने से क्या लिखो? बाबूगिरी करने से पढ़ाई नहीं होता. So this prior gives you the surprise elements. Then you get one information from the measurement. What are the measurements I am going to do? So what are the measures which are generally done for motor diagnostics? These are all measures. You can see vibration, temperature, all the 3 currents, voltage, lots of measurements. Just like if you go to the doctor, even experienced doctor can just put a stethoscope and tell you what is wrong with you. Once I would have having fever. So you guys, I didn't go to the, I'm scared of doctors. So I don't go to doctors. I just call to my friend doctors and they advise something, I take medicine. So somebody told you take this medicine, I took that medicine. Somebody said run a typhoid test. Some typhoid is always there with you, but very small. Somebody said typhoid is there, take typhoid medicine. So I took medicine for 10 days, the fever never resided. So I said that I'm going to die. So I went to a big doctor. He just touched me and told, stop the medicine. It is medicine fever. So I stopped the medicine, I was okay. Suppose I have gone to Apollo or somewhere, I would have paid minimum 2 lakhs for doing MRI, all these things. So how many measurements? The more measurements you need, the more information you have. But that is not done. That will be expensive. If I am going to put so many sensors, can you see? Lots of voltage sensor, current sensor, vibration sensor, temperature sensor. Then I not only put that sensors in the motor and relay it to the cloud. It will be pretty expensive. Therefore, this is not done. We are not going to do it. So we suggested that we will put only one sensor, just a current sensor. We have a prior and we have a current sensor. We can get all these measurements. So that is how we did it. So listen to me the steps how to do it. This is a electrical system or electromechanical system. Mostly mechanical. You will not see any electrical thing. All are mechanical. Bearing, eccentricity, okay, the imbalance, these are all mechanical stuffs. So these mechanical faults are reflected on current. That is the beauty. So when it is reflected on current, I can measure the current, I can do the diagnosis. Just like, suppose you take the heart rate of a person all the time, especially during sleep, then you can know many of his vitals and many diseases. So we have a product for that. We call it Sleep Dog. I'll show you the time progress. That means during sleep, if you take the full measurements and analyze the quality of your dream, quality of your breathing and heart, HRV, etc., you can know most of the parameters of your body. So therefore, here we have just one parameter, that is current. So to do this, we have to model. So first thing in product development is modeling. Write down, modeling. Mathematical modeling or data driven modeling. Mathematical modeling, if the data is available, data driven modeling. Human body data is available but the mathematics is not known, so they are data driven modeling. And for machines, you have your data is there and model is also there, mathematical model is there. So induction motor, mathematical model, motor, mathematical model, fan, mathematical model is first developed. By pure mathematics, computer science together, you develop the mathematical model. Once you do mathematical model, then whether your model is right or wrong, how do you know? Fourth bench, fourth guy, you stand up. Yes, yourself. No, don't look yourself. Yeah, stand up. Next. What is your name? Louder. Vikas. So, how do you know your model will be right or wrong? Suppose I build a model, mathematical model of the motor, how do you know it is? So, first step is modeling. Then next step is simulation. You have to run a code simulating it. Simulating means the models are generally differential equations, generally. It can be queuing models. For social networks, there are probabilistic models. There are different kinds of models. Discrete event systems, time transition models. Write down. मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ ये सब theory है. मैं ऐसे आके बैठ नहीं गया. Time transition models, automata, these are models. Computer science students, please write down these things. It can be modeled by hybrid models, continuous and discrete space models. Okay, so this can be modeled by differential equation or difference equations, discrete time. So difference equation ko I have to simulate first. Motor has a magnetic circuit, electromagnetic system, so they can be differential equations. So a lot of coupled differential equations, higher order. So they will be modeled, simulated. So after simulation आपको क्या मिलेगा? क्या मिलेगा? आउटकम मिलेगा. जैसे मोटर में क्या मिलेगा? स्पीड, करंट. आप वोल्टेज इनपुट दिया, सिमुलेशन में करंट, स्पीड दिया, उसका बाद कैसे पता चलेगा मॉडल ठीक है कि नहीं? वो तो कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम बोल रहा है. अरे सब लिखो. What I am saying are very important information because I am telling from my experience, not from theoretical knowledge. So you have to do an experimental validation. So next is experimental validation. So that means lab में experiment करना होगा. Can you do experiment on a 1000 kilowatt motor? Impossible, not possible. So you have to do a small scale emulation. So what is the difference between simulation and emulation? Emulation is a real thing in a scaled down version. So उसको emulation करना है. तो छोटा मोटर के लिए काम कर रहा है तो बड़ा मोटर के लिए करेगा. ठीक है? तो बड़ा मोटर का कुछ case study. So you have to do experimental validation. So after experimental validation, your model is ready. So the model को आप अगर real time में चलाओगे, you run the model as if this is the model inside this computer. You give 3 inputs, that is voltage, 3 voltages and a load torque. It will give you current and speed. So it is running in real time. This is called what? Anybody who can say? This model is known as digital twin. This model is known as digital twin. That means वो digital में चलता है लेकिन साथ में चलता है. वो मॉडल का जो एक्चुअल मोटर का जो आउटपुट आएगा उसका भी वही आउटपुट आएगा, लेकिन ये डिजिटली रन हो रहा है. अभी पायलट का डिजिटल ट्विन बन रहा है, ह्यूमन मीन स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन का डिजिटल ट्विन बन रहा है, बहुत कुछ हो रहा है. सो इट इज कॉल्ड डिजिटल ट्विन. यू गॉट माय पॉइंट? सो आफ्टर दैट you have the model. So then you create different kind of faults. You cannot create fault in the sit down. You cannot create fault in the so नींद थोड़ा छूट गया. I think now you are little alert, right? ठीक है. So then you cannot create all kinds of faults in a actual motor, even in the laboratory. Though you created all kinds of faults. What could be the faults? क्या ज़्यादातर fault क्या होता है? प्रायर में बियरिंग फेलियर पहले होता है. बियरिंग के बाद फाउंडेशन के बाद मोटर का जो वाइंडिंग, ये सब होता है. सो यू हैव टू मेक दोज फेलियर्स इन स्मॉल मोटर्स. देन इन फॉर लार्ज मोटर्स यू हैव टू सिमुलेट इट. यू कैनॉट डू इन द लार्ज मोटर्स. Then once you have fault signature, you have data ready. That means this signature belongs to this fault, you know, then you train your model. You can use signal processing and machine learning, signal processing, machine learning and deep learning. All three as possible. So I am just going to give the demo of this. I am full with 20 minutes. So this is the architecture. This is called I3 architecture. You can see. This you focus little bit. Those who are interested in computer science. This is called I3, incremental information inclusion. I3, IQ. Incremental. So this is our architecture. We have invented it. So this incremental information inclusion occurs in 3 phases. First phase is the sensor. कुछ आपका ये है पॉइंटर होगा, पॉइंटर नहीं है तो मुझे थोड़ा वो दे दीजिए. So this is called incremental information inclusion. So this has got 3 levels. One is the motor or any system. Don't confuse. Motor is not an electrical system, it is an industrial system. It can be motor, it can be anything. So there you are getting a signal. That signal is first analyzed in the first computing stage, which is known as edge computing. What is it called? Edge computing. Edge. EDGE, edge computing. So nowadays people are talking about AI on edge. AI on edge. So there will be some analysis will be done on the edge. So what are those analysis? It will first clean the data. Data cleaning first. After data cleaning, event detection. That means all the data cannot be transmitted. Why? The bandwidth requirement will be too high. All the data will not be transmitted. Why? Because, you listen, you have thousands of motor. Each motor is getting sample at, let's say, 10 kilohertz. That means 10,000 samples per second. 10 kilohertz means 10,000 samples per second. So each sample will be having some bits. How many bits? 16 bits, let's say. So how many kilobytes? 20 kilobytes. 20 kilobytes per millisecond, per second. So if there are 1000 motors, how much kilobytes? 20 into 1000. That means 20 gigabytes or megabytes. 20 megabytes cannot be transmitted because there will be many other things to do. So therefore you have to do event detection. Events. Event means what? Load change, failure, all these are events. So whenever there is an event, you take a snapshot and send it to the cloud. Event detection. In your car, whenever there is an event, it is recorded. When there is an event, it is recorded. One Indian, what he did, he opened the speedometer. He thought that a mileage reduced. But the event was detected, he was caught. Because it is all, there are a lot of issues. You know, in a modern car, how many issues are there? Issues means electronic computing unit or engine computing ECU, they are called ECUs. So how many ECUs are there in one car, you know, modern car? Typical modern car, a sedan, not less than 40 to 50. 40 to 50 computers are there. Everything is getting monitored, remember. Everything. So these events are detected. You know, we did a project with General Motors. The worst fault of what is the worst failure, worst thing which happens to General Motor cars at that time was, you know, false alarm. That means there is no fault but alarm was coming. Nobody likes that. So you know, when you drive a car, there is a light, yellow light. If it comes up, that means there is something wrong. So that is sometimes, most of the time it is a false alarm. If false alarm comes, they do not want to do it. And what is the worst failure in those cars in Europe and USA is the oxygen sensor failure. Oxygen sensor कहाँ पे रहता है कार में? Exhaust में. Why? Because you should follow the Euro 7, Euro 6 standard, Bharat 5, Bharat 6 standard. If the oxygen sensor goes bad, your catalytic converter will not work. Catalytic, I have worked in that, that's what I'm saying. Catalytic converter doesn't work means the pollution will be high. India में तो pollution का कोई problem नहीं है, कुछ नहीं बोलेगा. वहाँ पे एक बार pollution पकड़ लिया, $1,000 fine, $1,000. $1,000 मतलब कितना पैसा, मतलब एक आदमी का जिंदगी चला जाएगा उसमें. बहुत very high money. Therefore, they are very scared about oxygen sensor. So false alarm is a heart attack. Also, true alarm is also heart attack. So you have to be very sure whether the failure has taken place or not. So therefore, they wanted to analyze data. We did some analysis for them. So therefore, the first thing is you have to do event detection. Where? At the edge level. Whenever there is an event, you take a snapshot snapshot of the signal, 1 second or 2 second signal, and send it to the next computer. We call it aggregate computing. That may be at a particular plant site, aggregate computing. Then you send to the cloud. Now you will say what the aggregate computing and cloud will do. Aggregate computing will decide the maintenance schedule, and the cloud will do it for doing the degradation model. Degradation model पता है आपको क्या है? Degradation model आप जो for example you are using your bulb, when the bulb will be fused, how do you know? There is a model for it, the failure model. Generally they are poison model. Similarly for a motor or a system, there are different components. What are the components? Bearing is one, insulation is another, conductor is another, shaft is another. So there are different magnetic material. So each will have a degradation model. With temperature rise, the degradation will be faster. So from the current I square, you can find out the temperature rise, from which you will get a degradation model. The more is the degradation, you have to be more careful about it. So that will happen in cloud. So 3-stage computation. First computation will detect the events. Second level computation will decide the maintenance schedule. Third will decide the degradation. And it is otherwise known as remaining useful life, RUL. Remaining useful life. सब लिखो. ठीक है? Break for 20 minutes for some time. Ask questions. Ask questions. You can.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Kailash. You talked about various aspects of examples under product development, but as a student, the main thing we lack is in execution. So for idea to product development, we may have many ideas, but the main thing we lack is in execution. So like, can you give us a kind of small roadmap that will help in
Yes,
idea to
that
product?
is very good question. I'll come to the end. How would you start? That's the point. So first of all, you make your own table a lab. Making a lab is not a big deal. Nowadays you get every instrument at a very low cost. You make your own table as a lab, or make your university can make a lab for you where you can do it yourself lab. This is called do it yourself lab. आप लोग तो प्रोजेक्ट बहुत किए होंगे, स्कूल में भी किया होगा, बहुत सारा कुछ किया होगा, तो इसलिए फर्स्ट यू मेक ए डू इट योरसेल्फ लैब. सो फर्स्ट स्टेप इज एक्वायरिंग सर्टेन स्किल सेट. For example, the kind of product when I do, one skill set is coding. One has to do lot of coding. So number one is acquiring some skill set. So after acquiring the skill set, you have to attend the classes, do the lab properly. Then second skill set is you have to learn from offline. Collaborative learning. It is not collaborative or cooperative learning. That means few friends, you divide among yourself specialization. Suppose I want to do coding, you do the hardware, this guy will do this guy will do market, so make a team of specialists. Then third is, what is your idea? That is most important. This idea, suppose I give an opportunity to build a wheelchair, and I give you an opportunity to build something like a aroma release. That means गाना गाने से aroma release होगा. Aroma समझते हो ना? Scent. Suppose मैं थोड़ा romantic गाना गाया, कुछ गुलाब का स्मेल आएगा, कुछ भजन गाया, चंदन का स्मेल आएगा. Suppose. So which product will make? You answer me. Will you make a wheelchair or will you make a aroma release? Tell me, who can tell me? Raise your hand and tell me. क्या करोगे? आप क्या करोगे? Aroma release. Excellent. Because that will give you money. Wheelchair कौन खरीदेगा? Wheelchair सरकारी काम है, वो पैसा देगा तो आप करोगे. लेकिन aroma release करने से यूरोप में बिक्री होगा. Europe people are very crazy about aroma. Suppose the music plays, the aroma gets. This guy plays the music, the aroma stand is there with different bottles. We tried inside. So there will be aroma is getting released, small, slow aroma. I did research on natural aromas. So is it not a good idea? It's a fantastic idea. So, you have to think, so idea is important. Where is the market? So that is not a big deal nowadays. If you think about problems, idea is gone. First problem to your mom is what? Gas. This Indian gas is highly pollutant. You know it or not? घर में जो गैस जलाते हैं उनका सब तरह का रोग होता है, उसका जो वो दिखाई नहीं देता है. बट पोल्यूटेंट बहुत हाई है, आप पढ़ो यूट्यूब में पढ़ो, इंडियन गैस से जो पोल्यूटेंट है बहुत हाई है. सो योर जॉब इज टू हाउ टू desensitize that. Either you make some chemical based something which will absorb those pollutants, or find the replacement for Indian gas. It is your mom cooking. That mom is your best friend. So I think for her you can at least work out some solutions. Mom goes to the bathroom, it is wet. Everybody has wetted. So can you make a dry bathroom? Answer is yes, why not? I can make a dry bathroom. Can you measure before going to the bathroom, somebody can know the hygiene? Yes, we can. We can have hygiene monitors. So these are ideas. So these ideas, if it is working for your mom, your home, it is working everywhere. Because the maximum product sells in the domestic. That is product to, that is B2C, business to customer. There are products from B2B, business to customer. ये छोटा पानी का बोतल आप सोच रहे हो कितना पैसा कमाता होगा वो, बहुत छोटा ये, ठीक है. Is Swiggy, this all these, you know, Zomato, and nowadays this Blinkit. So they are actually eyeing the poor customers. They have no innovation, only the marketing, only marketing. So point is, you have to eye products or ideate products which is going to sell, which is going to sell. So that is idea. So idea, skill set, and then you have to take a mentor. You cannot do without a mentor. Mentor means some experienced person, either from industry or a professor, or who has failed, who has succeeded, whatever. So these three is going to work. Absolutely correct. You need some mentor. So these three entities are required. Other questions? Skill set, idea. First you should have skill set, idea, then a mentor. So then comes, you know what? Then the first idea to lab prototype is not expensive. Idea to lab prototype, I am taking lab prototype. I will show you what is a lab prototype. Like these flags which you saw, they are lab prototypes. They are not very good things. The flag should be very beautiful, is it not? So that is the next prototype. So let's say you spend 1 lakh, or you need 1 lakh for idea to lab prototype. For lab prototype to commercial prototype, you need 10 times the funding, 10 times. Then commercial prototype to marketing, 100 times. Because there actually players like Shahrukh Khan will come for marketing, commercialization, right? So therefore, commercialization is highly expensive. So you cannot reach that phase unless there is a big guy who will support it. Like there are Shark Tank models, there are other models, lot of competitions. So the first step is idea to prototype. So for this, your little bit of funding, mentoring, it will work. Other questions, please. And this, because you are in BPUT, you can create that atmosphere here. You can get lots of support from this.
So as you showed in that previous smart motor monitoring system, you said that you are using only the current sensor to predict of events. So what's the kind of implementation plots that you are taking only the current sensor and predicting all the
only current sensor, nothing else.
So like you are correlating the plots.
Yeah, this is a big story. I'll show you the video. I'm showing you the video, you can understand. I'll show you a 90-second video because there are many videos. And one more important thing I forgot. क्या नाम बताया? Presentation. आपको present कैसे करना है आपका idea? ऐसा present करना है idea चोरी ना हो और अच्छी तरह present हो जाए. Most of the competition which is happening, they are for stealing your ideas. Samsung, Boeing, they are making competitions ना. Idea दे दो, 2 लोग select होगा, बाकी idea उनका होगा. So इसलिए you have to do proper presentation. See, I am not showing you everything here. Okay, so let me show you video. You focus towards the end of the video. This 90-second video I am showing. This is the big team. This is another team. And this is for PMSM. That was for induction motor. This is for PMSM. Permanent magnet synchronous motors. Where it is used in all electric vehicles. Permanent magnet in synchronous motors. Where in the world the permanent magnet is available? China. Isliye India is trying to develop other drives, other types of drives. So this is for PMSM diagnostics. You can see towards the end. These are all idea things. These are some presentation things. Look at, these are the three things you see. You see there are three things. One is the edge device, AI on edge device. It's a small device with lot of analog and digital signal processing. The board analog signal processing is a skill. You have to build that skill to build analog circuits. Then there is a digital twin, a small processor which will emulate an induction motor real time. And the diagnosis will depend upon the difference between the digital twin output and the actual motor output. So whatever is the difference, that will tell you what kind of fault it is. So then there is cloud-based analytics and RUL, that is remaining useful life prediction. This is for electric vehicles. So same architecture as you can see, similar architecture. So this is the digital twin, you can see how it is running. You can see this is the motor, the digital twin is running there, parallel. The digital twin you can see it is running there. So this digital twin is matching the motor output. Can you see? Whatever is shown in the motor display, the same thing is coming in digital twin. So this is called real-time simulation of the motor and with that or digital twin. Okay. So then comes this is the diagnostic board. You can see the diagnostic board is there, you saw. Okay, I'll show you the diagnostic board. This is the diagnostic board. This is only one sensor. Can you see the current sensor on the right side? Only one sensor. This sensor data is taken by this diagnostics board. This diagnostic board is a small computer, Raspberry Pi or any 32-bit, but the analog control, digitally control analog board is the pattern, which is little difficult to make or little skill set. Otherwise, there is absolutely no problem. Then the algorithms. So this is just one board you can see. So it is showing in real time what is the fault. It is showing what? Bearing fault. So that means there is a bearing fault we have introduced there. In the motor there is a bearing failure, it is doing. So how it will do? It will do lots of signal processing. Because you know the voltage is more or less fixed. So the current can give you, the frequency of current can give you, the harmonics can give you the actual speed of the motor, sleep, then the side harmonics will give you lot of failure statistics. Alright. So this is what is done practically, and this is going to GAIL India Limited. GAIL has patented it with us. We have patented with GAIL. You can see how the denoising is done, so a lot of things. Okay, so next question. Yes, questions.
Sir, you said about oxygen sensor in catalytic converter in an automobile system. So how the catalytic converter converts a more poisonous gas to a less poisonous gas in BS6 automobile?
Oxygen sensor failure. If the oxygen sensor fails, we cannot measure the amount of oxygen. The oxidation will not take place. Catalytic converter has a heated oxygen sensor. So in heats up, it will absorb oxygen from the outlet gas. So the nitrogen oxide, etc. will be absorbed, and from this oxygen content will be found. So the NO, NO2, all these gases are very poisonous. So that is how they work. Okay, so the oxygen sensor is related to absorbing those gas, and from that the oxygen content. If the oxygen content goes up, that means the oxide, nitrous oxide kind of things are more. Carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, all these things should not be going to the atmosphere. So the oxygen sensor, if the oxygen sensor fails, it cannot detect. Catalytic converter will not work. That is the. But how it works chemical, I don't know actually.
Good evening, sir. Sir, as you told earlier that you have 5 startups and you have experience on the startup. So I want to ask.
I have also told I have failed 99%.
Yeah, sir,
That
but
also
you have gained the experience, right?
You have to have courage to fail, yes.
So I want to ask, like, when we start any idea for the implementation, so we develop a prototype. So whether in order to convert it into the product, whether that prototype is sufficient or what changes needs to be done to make it into go to the market?
That is a good question. So when you have an idea and you know there is a market, you have an idea and there is a market. So what is the guarantee that you will get in the market? There is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that you will be successful in marketing. Unless you are successful in marketing, you cannot say you are successful. So here there is some word called passion. My passion is I want to build new products. That is my passion. I want to write poetry. That is my passion. Let's say. I want to play cricket, whether I lose or so. This is called sportsman spirit. I will play cricket. Rohit Sharma will bat first with aggression. He will get out 0 or not. It doesn't matter. This is called sportsman spirit. So that passion, if you have, you should do it. Otherwise, you are absolutely true. And then comes the team. The marketing team has to be very strong. I made a mistake. I did not have anybody from marketing. You know why Steve Jobs was successful? Because Steve Jobs was a marketing person. Steve Jobs was a designer. So in product, the product design is also important. So we did not care about that. We spoke about mathematics, algorithms, how to make things work. But from that, how to make visible. That visibility you have to create. How will create that? That means there has to be a second team which will make it visible. Like exhibition. Aapka BPUT, it will do exhibition. You participate, you go and present. So one day your idea will be accepted. And if you have money, then you can make the product also, if you are so confident. You can do that.
Yes, sir. What you said is true, but my question is a little bit more on that. Like I was asking you, for the prototype we are using off-the-shelf components and controllers, right? But the same cannot be used in real-time purpose.
Yes, it can be used. For embedded system, you cannot go for VLSI. You have to go for processors and components which are available off the shelf. If you make a new VLSI, it will be very expensive. Therefore, suppose for prototype I am using Raspberry Pi, but for product I will use ARM. That's the difference. That's not a big deal. Once I test everything is work, I will make it in ARM. It is not a big deal. So I will make a very nice PCB and it will be packed, it will go. So that is not a big deal. So, but the deal is that it should work first. If it is working, so there are different TRLs that I will tell right now. I did not say it, so I will say that TRL levels. What is called technology readiness level. Any more questions? I will go to for next 20 minutes of presentation again. Do you have any more questions? So let me answer his question, then I will take more questions. So this is lot of simulation, you can see, lot of maths. These are different kind of faults which I have done in the lab. So after doing so, a lot of faults are created. So it's a pretty good development. All these designs. So this is the edge device finally. So this is the TRL. This is called technology readiness level. There are different types of TRLs. TRL 1 to TRL 9. What is TRL? Basic ideation. Basic principles. TRL 2 is technology concept formulated. That means ideation. That means it will work, you know. Maybe simulation. Then 3 is experimental proof. That means it is working. 4 is lab prototype. So you have to go up to lab prototype. Then you go for funding. Next level is you have to go funding. Otherwise you cannot build a team. Then technology has to be validated in the relevant environment. That is next. So then technology demonstrated. Validation and demonstration, two things. Validation means you go and test your product. Demonstrated means it has to be setting there. Like we are now going to TRL 6. We are going to put all the devices at GALE sites. So this is TRL 6. So after TRL 6, then it becomes completely there. It will go on for 24/7. Then comes 8. That means after that you are going for productization. That means marketing. So these are different steps. So up to you are expected to do it up to TRL 4. Then for TRL 5 you have to go to the relevant industry. Right? then relevant industry goes to the next level. So industry has to also. Okay, any other questions? So these are some of the product catalog. You can see some product catalog we have made, but not all. Before going for the last presentation. So this one, this glass which you see, it is actually already delivered. This glass, I'll show you that picture. That is already delivered to the DRDO. This is TRL 7. I can show you this. This is the glass. What does this glass do? Let me tell you. You can see this picture. My picture, I'm wearing a glass. This glass has got 3 sensors. Here one, and here one. 3 sensors. So this is done for DRDO Air Force pilots. So Air Force pilots, they are actually genetically born. We cannot make somebody an Air Force pilot. Why? Because the reaction time, it is very fast and it comes from genetics. So the Air Force pilots are normally not alert. When there is war, automatically they are alert because life and death situation. But on normal circumstances, they don't care. And they are little also arrogant because they are very capable. So when they have to fly a fighter aircraft for few hours a month. This is called shortage, SHORTIS, shortage. Short fighter aircraft they have to take. And maximum accident happens during shortage. And in the accident, mostly the aircraft gets damaged. But the pilot escapes. Very few cases, pilot also dies. So one aircraft, fighter aircraft nowadays is 2500 crores. Earlier it was 400 crores. Now it is 2500 crores because they have night vision, very powerful, it can see long range. And if one aircraft goes, you can see how much taxpayers' money goes, 2500 crores. So therefore, before taking the flight, they have to be tested whether they are alert or not. Generally, they don't sleep at night. They go to the club, they do partying. So suppose they do, then in the morning they take up the flight. Suppose they are drowsy, they should not fly. But how do you know they are drowsy or not? So there is an international standard for test for 20 minutes. They have to do lot of gaming. But that is too much for them. So they wanted to have a product which can do it quickly in 3 minutes. So IIT Kharagpur built it. This is based on EOG, electro-oculogram. EOG, electro-oculogram. If you pick up your cell phones, there is a slow motion. In the slow motion, you can sample your frame at 200 frames per second. How much? 200 to 300. Have you tested your cell phone? What are the sensors there? So that if you do that cell phone, you can find out different motions of eyes. One of the motions of eyes is called saccade. Saccade means very quick movement of eyes. So whenever you are drowsy or not alert, this quick movement of eyes will reduce. Okay. So this saccadic velocity and saccading time will reduce. So how to measure that? So if you can measure that, that means you can tell somebody is alert or not. So we did that. What we did, we designed this glass. This glass has 3 sensors. One is here, one is this side, one is this side. These are EOG electrodes, 3 electrodes. And there is a computer here, and there is a battery, and there is a communication here. Wireless communication, everything inside the glass, left and right side and middle. So it communicates with your cell, with a pad. So in the tab it plays a game. These games are known as psychomotor games. What are those games? Psychomotor games. One of them is, for example, psychomotor vigilance test, VVT. Psychomotor auditory, visual auditory test. Auditory test means it will tell left, you have to, in the ear you have to listen, and hand you have to move. Cursor left, cursor right. Then there are different kinds of tests. These are called psychomotor battery test. So it will play the psychomotor test. From the psychomotor score and the saccadic motion, you can say whether somebody is alert or not. Cost of this thing was about 15,000 rupees. but their cost of the one they are importing right now is 15 lakhs. So this was given to, this is a very successful product, okay. This is called go no go device. This is a TRL7, that is technology validated, demonstrated at the relevant site. We leave it for, yes, coming down. Then sleep down. This one is really a beautiful product which we developed. I can show you the video in the end. So this sleep dog, I'll show you later on. We also developed some tuna machine. We will tell you. They are very nice products. So these are the product catalog I can share with the DPUT. This is the flag which will build. This is the flag. The design is this. You can see this is the final design of the flag. So before going to the last, so I want to take some more questions, then I will give the last product. What is the time now?
Hello. So this,
Can you not have a break for teas or something? These people
yeah,
are sleeping. Yes.
we will break. This go no go, the product, when it was developed,
It was developed 10 years back. 10 years back.
so 10 years back the cost was
15,000 rupees.
versus 50 lakhs or something. Right? That's the, I mean import
Yes.
cost totally.
We tested at Indian Military Academy at Bangalore, IAM, Indian Academy of Medical Academy, Military Academy,
Military, IMA.
IAM,
So,
yes.
so what I'm asking that, I mean this product could have been exported also because
Yes.
it's a huge cost difference.
That's the point.
So it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Why military slept?
That did not happen. But still also it is not there. We can have it again. It is there.
We can revisit this
Yes,
product?
yes, obviously we can.
But is it patented by IIT Kharagpur?
Yeah, patented. IIT
Then-
Kharagpur and DRDO.
Then
Patented.
if we want to, let's say, push this product,
Yeah, IIT Kharagpur. Patent means, remember, I'm telling you patents.
Yeah.
If 5 people have patent, everybody has equal right.
so you were there?
Yes, I can give you the product.
Okay, thank you. No, no, no.
Okay, so any other questions? Because the last part of the presentation is there. I will present. That is a very interesting thing which you are doing. There are many one. Yes.
Sir, for recording that eye movements, what kind of learning we used? Whether it was reinforcement or whether it was...
There is no learning. Sit down. It is sure shot because the eye saccade velocity will come when the EOG signal will give like this. So you do little signal processing. You have to smooth it out and measure the time. From the time, the peak velocity you can find out easily. So there is no machine learning. Only you have to do a support vector machine to find out whether alert or not alert. That's all.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, in the closed system, as you discuss in motor, you are concentrate on the current to measure the abnormality. But if in a system, if so many parameters are causing troubles, so in that, how to approach that problem through AI?
Absolutely. Very good question. So first thing, as I said, what it is modeling. So you have to see feasibility whether by one or two sensors you can get everything or not. So first thing you have to do modeling and simulation. Then you have to correlate whether if one sensor can give all information or not. In this case, we found that one sensor can give all information. Alright, so if it is a complicated system, you may have to have more number of sensors, absolutely. For example, PMSM, one sensor will not work. In PMSM, you have to have current sensor, voltage sensor as well. Both are required. Any other question? Okay, few other products I will just tell you. One is, you know what, everybody should not do engineering. Why everybody is doing engineering? When I asked my students in IIT, they said, I don't want to do electrical engineering. But my father forced me to do electrical engineering. So that means all are not made to become engineers. They have their own capabilities. So how to know who is capable of what? Can you suggest something? and when to know about it. You have to catch them young. In countries like Europe and US, they have catch them young screen. That means you can figure out somebody who loves art, who loves sports, who loves geography, history, literature, around class 9 or 10. So class 9 or 10, if you want to do some test, can you find out the motivation of the kid? If you do repeatedly, it is possible. So the product for this, we call it Rujan. Ru means soul, know my soul. So what are you going to do there? We have two things. One is, in schools, we want to implement it through some cameras. We call it PTZ cameras, you know, pan, tilt, zoom camera. So this camera guy, by AI algorithms or some automation, it will focus on everybody's face. Like some of you are actually very motivated to listen to this, some people are not motivated. But if I do it again and again, I can figure out from your facial expression that what is your motivation level. So I am not going to do it for senior people, but I am like you, I want to do it for class. Mathematics class, if I see everybody is demotivated, I will change the teacher. Okay, and in the mathematics class, if I see a particular guy is not getting motivated, I will find out why, inform his parents. So that means throughout the class, it gives me motivation. It will be private data. No data will be shared with anybody except the parents and the professor. So repeatedly by knowing the expression, facial expression, attendance level, attention where he is looking. So from this I can find out a motivation index. So I found out that, let's say the student number 1 to 100, the motivation index for math, motivation for geography, motivation English, etc. I know. I have scores. These scores do not give motivation level. Scores do not, motivation is something which cannot be modeled by examination score alone. So I get this facial expression, then I will run very simple tests, very simple one-page tests for each one of them through a kiosk. Suppose I ask about question about sports, very obvious questions. I'll ask about simple maths. I'll see how their face is getting brightened up. So by these two, I can know the motivation level of each kid. My job as a professor or principal, I'll tell the parent that this guy is most likely is motivated to do sports. स्पोर्ट्स में खाली स्पोर्ट्स करना नहीं है, स्पोर्ट्स साइंस भी है, स्पोर्ट्स साइकोलॉजी भी है कि नहीं, स्पोर्ट्स थेरापी भी है, ठीक है. सो स्पोर्ट्स का काफ़ी कुछ है. सो स्पोर्ट्स, दिस गाय हर्ष भोगी इज नॉट अ टेक्निकल क्रिकेट प्लेयर, बट ही लेफ्ट IIM to become a cricket commentator, analyst. So there are many options. So point is to find out the motivation level. You can do this simple thing. This product name is Rujan, and the one I told is Pehchan, that is attendance. Rujan will take the attention and motivation. This we are working right now. Okay. So the second product which I will tell is about the sleep dog. If you are sleeping, do you know how do you sleep? How much you slept? You don't know. You are okay, as a youngster you don't care, but do you know how your parents are sleeping or not? Grandparents are sleeping or not? How their health is? So if you put a device, that device will not wear, it will be sitting there. It can measure your heart rate, breath rate, all sounds, everything to tell you about your dream, deep sleep, how did you sleep, everything. And the whole score comes to us. Then I can know the quality of sleep and thus the quality of life. Quality of sleep decides quality of life. If somebody is sleeping nicely, he is happy. You got my point? So these are some of the products. We are doing instant food tester, so lot of things. So now I shall go to the last presentation. Any other questions? Because after the last presentation, we will almost finish. So last presentation is about a beautiful monument which is coming out at Basav Kalyan, Karnataka. You can see in your cell phone, you can use. It is called Anubhav Mantapa, MANTAPA. The website is not public yet, but you can see in the YouTube. It is a huge structure. Huge means huge. And it is a huge sibling, huge crystal sibling, which is coming up, and the sibling is 5-storied or more than that, or 10-storied. And around the sibling there are lot of spaces. In the lot of spaces there is heavy scientific things. Virtual reality, 5D theater, 7D theaters, and few of them is our product. One of the product is called automated relaxation mat, automated relaxation system, or we call it AI Jogi. We call it AI Jogi. So this is Anubhav Mantap where this product will go. I'll give the presentation for that. So this, what is the, so I'll give the summary of this. Summary is, in Lingayat community, the Lingayats, Lingayats of Karnataka, they are very powerful in South India particularly. So they are building this. In their community, there is a particular method of meditation called Ishtalingam meditation. Somebody has to meditate in a particular posture. So they want, whoever comes there, they should be taught this Ishtalingam meditation. It is for 10 minutes. That means somebody, an animated picture will practice it, you have to follow it. So if you are following it correctly or not, how do you know? That means there has to be posture correction, automated. Whether your vitals are improving or not, because by meditation, you are supposed to be calm. What do you mean by calm? Calm means your breath rate should be even, heart rate should be even, your blood flow in the face should be even. How do you know that? So you have to be measured. So this device is not only giving the instruction to do particular technique like Surya Namaskar, here it is Ishtalingam meditation. At the same time, it is measuring the vitals by way of thermal camera, facial blood flow pattern, by way of radars, the heart rate and breath rate, and by way of visual camera postures. That's what I am going to show you. This is a real product which is going to, it is not, this product is not there anywhere in the world. This is the first time happening. I think this is going to change the game. So let me just show that. Just see the video first. So this is the product. So first it will say, this is the prototype, so it will check the sensor first. In the actual implementation, sensor checking will not be there. Visual camera, there are two visual cameras. Depth, it will know the depth. 3D modeling of your posture. It will do AI based 3D modeling of your posture, if there is anything or not. So there is a thermal camera which will do the facial blood flow pattern. When you are calm, you will find your blood flow reduces. It becomes even both the sides. Then there is a radar which will measure your heart rate and breath rate. Radar. Nothing will touch you. Nothing will touch you. Okay. So it will be away from your body. So then, so once the sensor checking is done, so first visual check, visual is working or not. Then visual camera 2 check, it is working or not. Then thermal check. This is for you, our only, so this will not be there in the actual product. This is for the prototype. Thermal check, radar check. So radar signal is checked. So that radar signal is coming or not. Then depth check. So that means 3D picture is coming or not. So the sensor will adjust. We have robotic arms which will adjust the sensors automatically. So they are the checking. So this is one of the sadhus who is practicing very correctly. So we invited 10 of them. So they came to IIT Kharagpur, we recorded their postures and we will build animations based on this. They are not the one which will be shown, animated picture of their guru or somebody will be shown to them. Any Lingayat is here? Any Lingayat? Anybody from Lingayat community? No. Okay. So there are many in IIT, so you can see how it is done. So there are quickly done. So we have shown it quickly. So these things will not be there. These are the prior things, it will not be there. Only the posture will be there. So looking at him, you have to have the posture, whether it is achieved or not achieved. If it is not achieved, it will discard you. So this is the real posture you can see. This is how you have to do. You have to raise your hand to a particular height, then look straight. So somebody has to exactly practice this. So that posture has to be adjusted. So the guy who is using, so this is coming on the screen. So this is the system. This is the prototype. Okay, so this has you packed. The 3D camera, radar, everything is here. You can see radar is there, visual camera, 3D camera, everything is here. So because he is not doing the posture, so it tells you don't have the posture. So it will not start. Suppose you do the posture, it will start. Now it will start, you can see. He is trying to do the posture. You can see this. So this whole thing will come to a mat. I'll show you what kind of mat will be there. So you'll see now it is going computation. The similarity score, how much the poster is correct or not. So it will do all the computations. Then comes the attention, whether you are looking at the particular thing or not, attention. Where you are looking, or gaze. So gaze is also important. It will look at the gaze. Then it will give the 3D mapping. Then it will give you the thermal image. From the thermal image, it will compute the heart rate and blood flow rate of the face. So from this blood flow rate, with the time, it will find out whether you have achieved the desired calmness level or not. So this product is going to be applicable to many things. For example, if somebody is doing Surya Namaskar, whether doing it correctly or not. Somebody doing physiotherapy, doing it correctly or not. Somebody wants to measure pain, how much pain you have from the, so you can do that. So this is the third product, which you call it at AI Yogi. I think I am done. If you have any questions, you want me to speak about anything, I will speak. Otherwise, I'll stop here. Okay, please ask questions. Now it is your time. Everything has a presentation. This has also presentation, very nice presentation. I did not do because it is very involved. So the presentation will be something like this. I will run through the presentation. So we have a big team here. This is a big team. Myself, three professors in fact. This scholar, all are scholars here. So this is about stress management. So this is the kind of product we are looking for. This will be looking like this, something like this, okay. So this is the prototype. So these are different channels, visual, thermal, okay, and the so this TRL6. So we did experiments for actually knowing whether it is working or not, lots of experiments. You can see the face, pre-intervention, that means after meditation how the face has cooled up, as you can see. The nose region, you can see it is cooled up. So how the breath rate has reduced, heart rate has reduced after meditation. So all these things are found out from the non-invasive sensors. So this is posture, so this is the animated thing. So this is already, this presentation is in very detail, so I am not going into this. Okay, so your questions, please ask questions, as many questions as you can. Yeah, please go ahead, ask questions, as many questions. So now if you like, if you have any ideas, product ideas, etc., we can also discuss, but in this public or anywhere you want. Microplastics, how to know microplastics? If you develop systems, it will work. Everybody has so many microplastics. Full of microplastics, so that goes into brain. People are saying my brain has 10 milligrams of microplastic.
Sir, as you shown in that AI Yogi part, we are taking only the direct derivatives from the radar, like it's the heart rate.
Once again.
Sir, as you shown in the plot that we are taking the direct derivatives from the facial expression, the heart rate, the blood ratios, or the breath rates.
No. There is a lot of signal processing, machine learning.
So sir, basically you are currently considering the signals that are directly adapted from the human body, not taking any derivatives, like comparing two signals and deriving any other signal.
Yes, that we did during experiment. Yeah, good question, sit down. So to validate our system, whether it is working properly or not, we did experiments. So in the experiments, you can see here, this is the experimental setup. Here, we put a very high grade thermal camera. The thermal camera in the product, the cost is 25,000 or 30,000. But here the thermal camera cost is 7-8 lakhs. Then we have ECG. We have all the sensors, we have also standard sensors. We compare. That means we match them by way of some machine learning. That means the actual ECG which is coming out and the radar what signal it gives. You have to do mapping. So there already we did experiments first to validate whether the signal, the sensors which are using are as good as sensors which are very good. That validation we did first, matching. Like I took an image at low resolution. I took an image at high resolution. So can you map? So this is called super resolution. You can reconstruct low resolution image to high resolution by using super resolution. That is also a machine learning method, a deep learning method. We did.
So, like my question was, if you are taking the ECG, EEG, EMG signals along with the heart rate shows, the respiration body from the human body, so we could compare the ECG with the heart ratio, and from the correlation plot we can derive another signal, maybe the frequency variation. That would be
HRV, heart rate variation. Yes, sit down.
Variation.
So our job is to find out, sit down. Our job is to find out whether heart rate is falling down or not. HRV is falling down or not. That I can get from the radar signal. We have tested it because we have already an ECG, we have already connected in this maybe another experiment. It is all connected. You can see. So most signals you get from oxygen, the heart rate you are getting from the pulse oximeter. We are getting. So we are trying to match it. See, we want to finally know calmness level. Calmness level means your heart rate variability or heart rate should come down. Respiration should become calm down. Your facial blood flow has to be uniform. These are the three indices. So to derive that, these are the sensors we used. We have validated using this. It is happening. So if you want to know more medical things, we are not doing that. So for that you may have to derive a lot of signals. We are not interested in that. Because you have a small product which has fit into there. And they don't want to know their medical parameters. You know why? Because then in case you have ethical permission for ICMR. So that we cannot get. So therefore medical parameters we are avoiding at any cost. We will tell them calmness level. Sleep dog. That requires, that's why we have not yet marketed. It has to go to the sleep dog, means it will give you some rough sleep index, but it has to go to a B2B, B2C. B2B means some medical has to take it. We have built the product, but we have not yet got the clearance. We have not yet got the clearance. We have, I'll show you the video of the product, you will understand. You can see this video. This is the sleep dog. This is completely TRL 7, TRL 8. But commercialization you need ICMR, sleep, lot of ethical permission.
So here I have another
This TRL 7 or something.
No, the other one you say that
TRL 4 is lab.
lab, right? Now my question is that you told that you after TRL you take the funding, right? TRL
Yes.
4, you, if I remember, right?
Yes.
But you are not doing any market, put to market or go to
Yeah,
market.
so that is how to go to market. This is one strategy. So this one we tried through many medical boards. Once this is ready, because they wanted us to make it as final as possible. You can see the mobile app, so how it will be connected, everything is done. So the next bottleneck was the funding from the government. We got the funding also.
No, you, I think, see, what I'm telling you, sir, that because you have this thing in IIT, maybe lab, something, you get government funding, right? For the normal person, like a student doing a project, right? If he cannot...
There are a lot of, there are a lot of forums nowadays, lot of forums. If you look at startup funding is like anything. Just now yesterday PM speech, this is fund a startup. The speech was there, I attended that webinar. That might have come to you. It is now anything. Student can first get one. If you apply, immediate funding. Immediate funding you will get.
So you're telling after TRL 4 you can get?
Even you can get from ideas. It depends upon the funding agency. You can also get from ideas because 10 lakhs is nothing for them. 100 lakhs may be something. Idea to lab prototype is not a lot of money. It is X money. But by lab prototype to each TRL 10x. 10x, 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 10x like that.
Reach 100x.
Yes.
Okay, we'll speak later. Thank you.
Yes, anybody?
So now the bottom line is each one of them is an innovator. Remember, you believe in it. First you trust in it, then you will get what you want. Yes, please. Aye.
Very good afternoon, sir. This is Vidyashree. Sir, my question is that when we apply a load, then breakdowns occurs. Then, sir, is there any development, any things will that we will stop breakdowns to enhance breakage? Any product? Yes, sir. In rotor, if you are applying rotor, sir, as you said, inducing motor.
So if you apply load, breakdown may occur at that time.
Yes.
It's a very good question. Actually, she has asked a question which is not clear, but it is very clear to me. Sit down. So if there is sudden change, there is maximum stress on the product. So whenever you switch on, the bulb fuses maximum time. You switch on. You do something suddenly, so the question is how to know that. That is impossible to know. Whether in the next switch the bulb will be fused or not. But what you can know, probability of failure. That is called remaining useful life. That means if there is a stress, sudden change, it is going to tolerate how much. So this you can know from a historical data. That means the motor is operating, sudden load changes are there. There are a lot of changes. That means you have already stressed the motor with lot of changes, lot of temperature changes. You have used and abused the motor. Not only motor, anything. So use abuse statistics with us. Then from this, the manufacturer has told that this will be the statistics of failure. Generally it is Poisson's distribution. You read about it. Failure statistics you read. So your failure statistics is what he gives and what you get may not match. So based on the prior information of failure statistics, and here you use deep learning to modify it. So these data are already available. Many data is available in some website, some papers, what is the failure statistics, you train them. So basically I'll show you that particular picture because you are asking that question. I'll show you that picture, how it is done. So how the degradation model or failure statistics is trained. So this, yeah, here. I'll show you this. This is a good question. This is the one. So you can see that RUL transfer remaining useful life, the failure statistics. What is the probability of failure? So this is obtained by training a model. So this is the training model. You can see there are fault parameters, that means fault statistics already happening in the motor. That is coming from the edge device to the cloud. Then there is prior knowledge, which is coming from prior selection, that is from the papers, from the database, from others, so prior knowledge. So both of them are used to train a network. You can see there is a time domain, frequency domain, feature selection, input, output. So there is a training data. So this model is trained. This RUL is trained. RUL is a model. So these two are compared and it is trained again and again. Whenever there is a failure, that comes as input. So it trains, it gets updated again and again, as you can see here. So this is a model. As you can see, the model is getting trained. So this model gets trained and trained and trained. As it goes on and on, this model becomes very, very robust. After maybe few years, it will tell you exactly where it's going to fail. So this is called degradation model.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so bottom line, what I'll summarize the lecture like this. So I was not free. I was basically made in India. So I went to Purdue University, USA for 1 year. Then I could figure out what we are doing is all nonsense. I virtually dumped my PhD thesis, master's thesis, everything. I started working on real life problems. One real life problem to me when I landed at India in 2003 or 2004, there was a bus carrying passengers from Baripada to Kolkata. The driver slept, it went into a jeep, deep, and 59 people were charred to death because driver slept. So that was my first problem. My second problem was Upahar cinema, where there was an electric short circuit. Many people had died. There are Stepan codes. So I started with one is electrical spark detection. We have a device now after 15 years of research, and driver drowsiness detection. And both are very successful. That means people are using it now. Those are papers now. Tata Motor, everybody is having this driver drowsiness detection system. Basically, we did it fast. Few among the first, 15 years back, or maybe 2005, 2006, 20 years back. So this is how I started. I suffered a lot. I did not get promotion. My money is all gone. I was not funded. But people are there, still funded it. So then I built many such devices. Not only me, my students, we are still doing it. I don't know whether we will fail or succeed. But I am hoping that I will succeed. But you need a passion to build things. Unless you build things, actually the India is going to be poor all the time. You got my point? Thank you very much. I hope if you have any questions, you can still ask me, but we can conclude. If mentoring you need, I am ready. Professor Shivam Prasad Mishra, you can connect your professors. Mentoring we can arrange, not a problem. But you come up with groups and ideas, we can discuss, we can have regular sessions.
Hello. Yeah, I take this opportunity to thanks students and other people having faculties who have attended. I'm sincerely honored to have a person like Mr. Rautre, Aurobindo Rautre. I think he's deeply involved. I have gone through a similar kind of phase, so I can understand that, maybe at a different level. And I think we will take this as an opportunity to not only do things and connect with him for the future, and I can be immediate to get connected. I will be in touch with him. So thank you, thank you, sir. Thanks for your presence, and we sincerely appreciate your report and all. I can understand. I have gone through that. Later on, I'll talk to you. And it happens with India. I know I was just talking to Professor Mishra saying that he must have got a spark of charge. The moment he mentioned about Purdue, I can understand that is the changing point, right? I am not saying leave your degrees. So at some point, yesterday I could not speak. So, but I will talk about him some other day, what spark he has created among, other things. Not about those five things which people normally read about Indonesia, this, that. That is what I was about to tell you. So the spark happens at some point. So that spark also I'll explain some other time in our startup class or maybe at Innovation Lab, that how the spark happens, right? I was talking to this guy, he has got certain sparks. So we will try to connect those small spark and take it to the next level. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks students.
Yeah, so we are now at the end of this workshop. So special thank goes to Professor Rautray. He has made it happen actually. For a long time, even I have shared this with the students that we are going to invite him, and finally this has materialized. So let me tell you, this is just the beginning, because the spark has happened, as he said. Now let's see if we can withstand it and we can continue with this. I don't know how much he could reach you with his thoughts, because I have seen Sir since 1997, 98 I think, and when I was a student, Sir was my friend, philosopher and guide since then, and fortunately I also got a small chance to work with him. But in fact, sir, if you remember, we had started with that project, but it could not materialize because of many reasons. But I sincerely hope that some of our students, through your interns or some opportunity, connect with Sir and do, you can do miracles. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate your small ideas. With the three things, as Sir said, it can really go to a good product development. So the thing that we are looking for is passion. You should have passion to pursue, which can convert your ideas to a product development. Okay. So with these words, we are not going to stop here. We are going to actually start here. Everything has to start from this. So this is an opportunity for all of you. Connect with him through me or by any means. Some of you, if you are really interested to do something through your interns, use your summer time for internships. Now, as our Vice Chancellor was saying, that we are now able to publish the results within 6 days. So you have plenty of time, during your. So utilize your summer, utilize your free time whenever you are free from, and do something, cultivate your ideas, convert them into some kind of product, Don't really care about failures. Failures are the pillars of the success. So, Sir is the example. So, we are all with you. So, finally we are going to thank so much Professor Rautray. He has come all the way, and in fact this was it should be afternoon. As Sir said, I could manage to get all of you sit here for 2 hours. This itself is a miracle. Thanks, special thanks goes to all of you, particularly the students who have Yeah, sir. I think I know my students there. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
One idea which I am throwing it to you is that, we wear shirts. These shirts, in the winter, we have to throw it because it's so much, sweating and smelling, right? So can you not make a small chamber, hang the shirt, all deodorization will happen, everything will go away, you bring it out and wear it. Just a second of 5 to 10 minutes, it can be done. It's not a rocket science. It is used for India because it's a humid country, lot of sweating. Lot of people smell so much when they come because of sweat. So because the shirt cannot change. If you wear one shirt, I wear 2 times. Why? Because I have been told that lot of water wastage. So I make sure that I wear this shirt 2 times. So I have to hang it somewhere so that the odor will go. So deodorizing, simple deodorizing, make a chamber. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to understand what is that in the sweat which smells. That molecule has to be neutralized by some ions. You know how air purifier works by ionization. So you have to do certain ionization but not too much, otherwise shirt will be destroyed. Because the linen shirts are very expensive also. This is one idea. You can work on this. There are many, but similar ideas you can generate. You know, you can walk into the store. You have a 2D camera. The shirt is there. You click it. The shirt will be, you will be wearing the shirt and visible in the screen. You can know it is fitting you or not. Where is that product? It is not there anywhere. You have to take out the shirt, go to Big Bazaar or somewhere, then wear it in a changing room, again come back. Why? You just pick it, click it. It will just make you wear 3D, not 2D, not like this 3D. So you wear it, it is fitting you or not, you come out. You choose that shirt, how it looks like, your figure is there. So ideas are many. Many things are required, particularly in India, populous country. So it is up to you to think and innovate. I think you will get mentorship, even funding will not be a problem if you pursue it through. You have to pursue, you have to see, you see the life of Steve Jobs, where they started in a garage without nothing. You see the life of great billionaires like this guy who owns Walmart, Warren Buffett. See the life of Bill Gates. See the life of Tata. See the life of Dhirubhai Ambani. They have not got everything. They started from scratch. Nothing was there. So I think we need people like them. Not just one Ratan Tata, many of them. One Jamshedji Tata, many of them. So I think you are young and government is waiting to fund you. They will not give any funds to me. Day before yesterday we presented some 20 crore proposal, no money. They didn't give us. They said no, we will not give. But if you present such an idea, they will fund you first. Young comes first, Youth India. So I think the time is yours. Only thing you have to channelize your energy, not in social media, WhatsApp, all these nonsense things, in innovation. It is not that you don't need your cell phone, you need your cell phone, but for communication, not for wasting your time. Good luck. One more thing I am just telling, watch your health, everyday workout, maintain a time schedule. I think you will have a great creativity.
After this session, if you want to interact with some of your personal questions and all, so you can with us, sir. I think, sir, if want to meet you, he's there. So thank you so much.